is a Fiat Strada Albath. It's one of the last ones sold in the United Kingdom. It's a January 1988. In the series of Strada Abarths, there were effectively two. There was the Mark I Strada Abarth, which was on the Mark II Strada body, and then there's the Mark II Strada Abarth, which this is a version of, and that's on the Mark III Strada body. Really, it was my wife actually. It's her car, technically. We've always driven Fiats. She liked this one. She had a Fiat Regatta before this, and she had a sportier car before that, 127 GT. So it was sort of a logical upgrade and actually an impulse buy. And strangely enough, it's still got the original number plates on it, despite being 30 years old. We've been fortunate enough, having owned it from new, to actually stay on top of the rust. Most of the Stradas had various rust problems with the rear wings, the tailgates, the back section of the boots. So a lot of them rusted through. In terms of numbers available at the moment, they vary slightly, but we're talking about between 6 and 10 not sawn at the moment in the United Kingdom, and there's about 44 sawn, but they are basically basket cases, and people just can't get the parts to get on top of them and put them back as they should be. Never had anything done to it in terms of repairs, and even the springs and dampers are all original. For modern cars, it's quite rare to keep the springs and dampers, within 5 years most of them go. But this one's all basically original, so we haven't been struggling too much for parts, but body trim is a nightmare. This one's now just coming up to 85,000 miles. Goodwood is its sort of home track. It's done 1,391 laps here over the years, and most of it was done from new. Yeah, it's been on Top Gear. It was a rather strange story. We had a phone call on a Wednesday evening saying that Top Gear wanted a Fiat Strada Albath to appear with some other Abarths. And then on the Friday morning, we went up there. The theme that they were doing was after the introduction of the new Fiat 500 Abarth, and it went quite well, apart from my wife probably wanting to give Jeremy Clarkson a little gentle thump for slamming the door too hard. Top speed is not particularly fast. It's 122 miles an hour, and it basically falls off the camber, that speed. It was never designed to go any faster, and 0 to 62 is about 7.5, 7.8 seconds, depending on who you are and what state of tune they're in, because being old technology, side drive carburetors, they're pretty tricky to set up and keep in tune. They just love to be driven. They're not the fastest car in the world, they're not the slowest car in the world, but point to point they are a really fun thing to drive. Depending on the day that you take it out on, sometimes you just sort of the feel and the noise and the thumps and the bangs, because it's very firm suspension. You get out of it and your leg shakes a little bit and you think, I enjoyed that.